All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. You already know who it is, Target Individual CJVK. Um, that's funny because as I went by that truck, what the world is going on back there? I'm hearing, what in the world? I'm hearing something, but I don't see anything. All right, no, I don't know. I'm hearing something, but I don't see anything. All right, well, y'all my witnesses. Anyway, so yeah, as I went by that white van behind me, um, just as I got past the window, could have swore I heard somebody say, everybody watching, or something like that. And this is what they've been pushing over the last this is the same script that they've been using, that everybody's watching me, the whole city's watching me, people trying to protect your ass, all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm like, well, you can't protect me too much, because I'm still getting hit with these frequencies. Right now, it's like a whole microwave ray gun is being shot from my iPhone screen. So and all of that's hitting me dead in my sternum. Like I feel like my chest, I feel like my sternum and my chest cavity is like being softened with radiation. And it's funny because I just recently watched the X-Files movie, the one from like 90, I think it was like 97, 98. And there's like the scene in the movie when the alien host basically took over a human's like body or whatever, and then it started to like basically eat the human host from like the inside out. But what it did was like it like kind of like gelatinized the human cavity, you know. And you know what's interesting? So yesterday, my girl, she was mentioning. Oh no, we were watching this video. By what's her name? Hold on, I gotta clear my memory cortex because they got so much energy. They have so much energy flowing into that section of my brain, so it's causing the brain fog. And she, I know she's like one of either the creator or co-creator of Synergy, PSINERGY. I think she has a page. What is it? Rumble? No, I don't think this is Rumble. I forgot. Dang, I really watch. Her name's gonna come to me when I no longer thinking about it, and when they forget about it. Because when they forget about it, that's when different memory links are, re-strengthened, because they know I'm not looking for a specific piece of information, so they know to probably just, I guess, leave that neuron alone and focus on something else. So that's something else that I noticed. They really are just targeting you for specific responses. They're collecting data on your responses to everything, right? And I think ultimately it's to build, like, to be able to really create a more sensory or sensible probably like artificial intelligence robot or something like that. Because I mean, we already know about the depopulation agenda, and we already know they're going to basically try to remove anyone that's not for the transhumanist movement. Golly, man, like her name, it starts with an S, and I can't recall, but it's like, anyway. So yeah, there's like this crazy amount of radiation coming off my phone right now, and it literally feels like having someone point a laser beam dead at my chest. That's about maybe a foot in circumference or something. Or a foot in diameter. It's like a whole. It's like this big. It feels like there's this big circle of energy that's pumping all right here. But it's like cooler more out here. But then as you get closer towards like the sternum, or rather the heart chakra, that's where it's more concentrated. I made something, just something I'm testing out. Basically, what I did was I took a neodymium magnet and I wrapped it with some, I think this is probably a 12 gauge, either a 12 or 14 gauge copper wire, and I wrapped it through and around the magnet. And then on the other end, I have an alligator clamp. This is shungite. Shungite is known to be a very powerful absorbent of electromagnetic radiation. So what I did was I clipped it to the copper. I clipped it to the wire. And then what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to see if I can draw some of the energy that's being directed from the phone that's going right into my sternum. So I have the copper that's wrapped around the magnet, because magnets are, they attract, and copper is conductive. What I figure I'm doing is, and what it feels like, is the energy that they're concentrating on my chest, my heart chakra, my sternum, is being, I want to say, kind of like divided, because I know it's not completely absorbing everything, but it's dividing or splitting between flowing through just my body, and then also now it's flowing through the copper wire, and the magnet is helping with the pull of that energy into the copper wire, and then that energy then transfers through the copper wire into the alligator clamp, and then it's going into the shungite. At least this is just how I'm just testing this out, testing it out. But Sabrina Wallace, there we go. See, I told you I had to not think about it for a while, because you know what it was? It's kind of like I was giving them. I was giving myself some time to possibly talk about something else. So then, as I'm talking about something else, that I believe it kind of like it changes. It shifts their focus, So once their focus has shifted from the piece of information I was trying to recall, then the moment I start to think about the letter S, because I was still remembering, and I wanted to remember her name. So I kept thinking the letter S, right? Then as I'm talking about what's it called, the I don't know what to call it, maybe a portable grounder or something, I don't know. As I'm talking about it, I felt pressure relieving from one section of my, like the whole memory cortex is like, I don't know, it's like right. It's like right by the temporal, but damn, it's like all right here, right? Memory here, like memory here, and then also memory on the other side, right? So as I was talking, I was feeling like pressure relieving on the right side of my skull where, you know, my memory processing is. So then as I started to feel the pressure relief, I just kept talking. I tried not to think about it too much, so I just kept talking and talking. Eventually, it finally dawned on me. I was like, I thought about it again, and I was like, S. And then it was like Sabrina. And I was like, oh, Sabrina Wallace. Not that I heard somebody say Sabrina, but it was like the neurons clicked. Like the neurotransmitters got across. Like there was no interference that time, so it just came to me, Sabrina Wallace. So I was like, ah, yeah. So I caught them slipping. But anyway, I got like all this energy that's being focused on my chest. Those of you who have been reading about nanorobotics, you already know that once these things get inside your body, they basically can manipulate the very functions of almost just about all the cells in your body, because these nanorobots are conductive. They're conductive. They convert radio frequencies into electrical impulses. Ooh. Oh, I was like, I know I smelled something burning. Oh. Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, Sabrina Wallace, she has quite a bit of videos where she's talking about the oh, that was a firefight. It's all the way down here. But yeah, she has quite a few videos online where she's talking about the wireless body area network and how from all the particulates, the conductive particles and the nanorobots that we all have in our system, they basically created like an IP address or like a Bluetooth signal, or rather amplified our signals in the body, because it's not that we weren't already giving off frequencies, because everything is frequency. Everything about our lives is frequency. Everything is frequency. Everything. What the nanorobots basically did is basically they positioned themselves next to nerves, synapses, things like that, and they take whatever information they take the electrical impulses or signals that's going through the body, and they actually are like, they're like decoding them, right? They're like decoding them, converting them into transmissible signals that can be, you know, sent to a personal server like your cell phone, or sent directly to the cloud through the link that they have established through your prefrontal cortex. I've definitely had my fair share of covert slander campaigns and smear campaigns. Last night I remember, I mean, you know, you're walking around the street, right? And you got to remember, I'm gonna just say this. I've heard it mentioned time and time before, and it makes more sense the more I analyze my environment. When some people mention the Frey effect, where these signals, if you have V2K, these signals that you're hearing of these people transmitting their voices into your auditory cortex, they're bouncing around, right? They're bouncing around, and they kind of like reflect or bounce off of what's the word I'm looking for? Like certain types of materials, walls, cars, and I was just thinking like that's very important for people to remember, is that sometimes you got to remember everything that you think you may hear may not be exactly what it is, because these signals, these audio signals, they're bouncing around. So if they are transmitting audio signals into your brain, and that wave, it hits your brain receives it, but then it also reflects as well. It bounces off, and you may actually hear it kind of like as you're passing. And I noticed that if I'm going past a car, right, whether I'm walking or I'm on a bike, as I'm walking past, let's say the normal V2K volume is like between 1 to 5, it's like a 2, right? But then the moment I'm like going past a car or something real solid or some type of like material, whatever, all of a sudden, for just that moment, as I'm passing it, the volume increases like maybe to a 3 or 4. And I realize that's probably because of how vibrations and echoes work, or the acoustics rather. So it's like as I get past like a car or something, that's when I think the wave doesn't have to travel as far, so it bounces right off of a car, and it sounds like it's louder, but it's just like the signal isn't bouncing as far from your mind as it would if you were in open space. I even notice a difference sometimes when I go into different rooms or parts of the house where, let's say, the living room is obviously a larger space. So I will go, let's say, into my closet, and I got to pick something up off the floor. So I dip my head down I bend down to pick something up off the floor. And then for that moment that I bend down and my head is inside of I'm trying to see, is that 7 years? As I bend down and I'm trying to pick something up, I can hear the V2K volume increase a little bit. Why? Because the space around my head just, reduced, dramatically. So I was able to hear the V2K volume louder. Anyway, I'm trying to see if I can get as much details of whatever I experience out there, because I know at some point, and let me just say this. So recently there was this press conference by our city mayor, Eric Adams, and he's like talking about how the NYPD is going to do this. I guess the NYPD and the MTA is going to do this this trial period of where they're going to be using direct energy weapon. Well, they're going to be using a direct energy weapon detection system. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I'm like, okay, so if they're really trying to do this, I wonder how much that's going to help TIs, because for all the TIs that's in New York, and I'm just thinking about like those of us getting hit on the trains, and as like sometimes we don't even have to have our phones with us. We don't even have to have our phones with us. We could just sit next to somebody that has their phone in their hand, and all of a sudden we're getting hit with the radiation being pulled. Remember, radiation is being pulled from their phone and then steered into our bodies. Or rather, if you want to think about it what they, I mean, I don't know exactly how. I'm like reading and reading, and I try to remember things, but it's hard for me to remember things. But it's like I'm realizing that. Oh, hold on, lost my train of thought. Oh, because it's like right now, there's like this strong impulse, these strong pulses of energy coming in. It's like it's coming from the phone, so it's like it's coming from like this top corner of the phone, and it's wrapping around. It connects up here, right? Because that's where the link is. That's where they're transmitting the signals from my body or from the personal server, the phone, to the cloud through that signal. But then as it's like from there, it's also connected to here, going right into the memory. So that's how you know from here, that's where they're remotely monitoring. This signal right here, it's connected to your prefrontal cortex, coming in at a 45-degree angle. You can feel the thermal and magnetic presence of a energy wave or something vibrating coming through the air, and then it's connecting with the prefrontal cortex. But anyway, so I'm trying to like do my best to remember as much as I can, but you know, they're always remotely monitoring my neurons. But yeah, I don't know. I was trying to remember everything, but I can't even remember what I was trying to say. But anyway, I'll keep y'all posted on this, because right now it's helping quite a bit though. It is. I don't have as much energy on my. So like right now, this thing, like I can feel how much energy was going into my chest all on here. Like it's like it's literally like it feels like a bubble of energy all around this whole thing, right? But my chest feels better though. I mean, they still have the signal linked up, you know, to my chest. Like I still feel it more coming in here, coming from the phone. The one that's coming from the chest is more towards the bottom. This bottom end of the phone is coming in this direction here, and it's like vibrating. It's like this. It's like if someone took an electrode, stabbed you right here, and then connected it to like a car battery, and then it's like. But it's just consistent. It's just like this, like almost like someone's taking like a screwdriver, like a hot screwdriver, and they just keep going like this into your chest. That's what it feels like. But I'm all right for the most part. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here since I can't really remember much. My kidneys feel a little hot, or at least on the right side, because I have a tendency to put my phone in my right pocket because I don't want to put it in my left pocket because that's closer to my heart. So I put it in my right pocket, but when I put it in my right pocket, it's heating up the tissues that's closest to it. So right now, all right here, like right here, it feels like there's like a beam about this big, all right here, and it's just heating up everything right here. But anyway, I'll keep in touch with y'all, and I'll let y'all know how I'm doing throughout the day. As always, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.